Hi, lovely people. Welcome to Deriven Live, your number one channel for health and lifestyle. Today, we are looking at a very important part of our lives, but we take for granted. How often do you go for checkups? And how often do you at least sit down to reflect on your own system, if you are okay or not? Today, we are looking at checkups, the importance of checkups, and the effects of not going for checkups. Let's let's get to business. Why do you have to go for checkups? You know, as human beings, even when we buy cars, at some point in time, we go for maintenance. We check alignment, oil, and other things. We do that for a machine. So why don't we do the same thing for our bodies as human beings? We hardly go for checkups unless we are seriously ill and then we need to see a doctor. Now let's look at why we go for checkups. Number one, early detection of diseases. When we go for checkups, it's very, very easy for them to see and then take care of some conditions that are coming into our system. We shouldn't get to the worst stage before we start treating them. And once early detection, as they say, saves lives. So once these conditions are detected early, I mean, you are far away from dying sooner than later. So we are looking at diseases like hypertension, diabetes. Hypertension especially doesn't give signs, it doesn't give symptoms. Once you don't go for checkups, one day you'll be there and you just go off. So the checkups are very, very necessary to detect diseases like hypertension, diabetes, and a lot more. The second one is prevention is always better than cure. Once you go for checkups, you can prevent so many conditions. And when you prevent them, you spend lesser than curing diseases. Because when you talk about curing them, you might have advanced to a certain stage where you would need certain interventions to be able to get back to normal, and that will cost you a lot of money. Number three, we are looking at keeps you aware of your health status. Once you go for checkups, you're always aware of your health status and you know how to live and balance your life in order to live a very, very healthy life. The fourth one is it helps in managing existing conditions. When you have conditions like, the chronic diseases, the diabetes, the hypertension, the kidney diseases, and the rest, regular checkups help in managing these conditions. Once you don't go for checkups, these conditions worsen, and you know what happens when they worsen. The sixth one will be protect your loved ones. Once you go for checkups, diseases like STIs and other conditions are spotted and are taken care of. So once you do this, your loved ones are also, free from the burden of you getting sick, being bedridden, and also the risk of transferring certain diseases to other people also, go down. The last but not the least is mental health, which is very, very common in Ghana. We hardly check on our mental health, but elsewhere in the advanced countries, this is very, very, I think it's common and they do it. But here, unless the situation gets out of hand before someone even goes to see a clinical psychologist or I mean a clinical psychologist or psychiatrist. And one thing also, we even hardly visit the dentist or the eye doctor. And visiting, people might say the dental care in Ghana is expensive. Yes, it's expensive everywhere. So as much as we can, we should be visiting the dentist and the eye clinic at least, let's say, once in a year or once in 2 years, depending on your age, right? So let's look at some of the things that regular checkups include. Regular checkups include tests like the blood pressure check, blood sugar test, that's screening for diabetes, cholesterol test, weight and BMI measurement. BMI is body mass index, heart and lung examination, cancer screenings, eye and dental checkups, as well as mental health evaluation. How and now we are looking at how often do we have to go for checkups. This is based on age brackets or age ranges. Young adults from 18 to 30 years are supposed to go for checkups once in 2 to 3 years. Adults 30 to 50 years, once in a year is okay. If you don't have a chronic condition, 50 years and above, at least once a year. But you should be going frequently if you have a chronic condition like diabetes, hypertension. How you frequent the clinic or the hospital is determined by your caregiver. He would, schedule a plan for you so that you will be going to the clinic to check up on your health status and the parameters regarding your health. Now, find out what. Do you have any chronic condition? If you don't, how often do you go to the hospital as an adult? And how often do you go for checkups? Let's not take this for granted. And if you haven't subscribed, kindly do like our videos and share. Until next time, stay safe, stay healthy.